Hey everybody, it's Roy from A&S Gear, and we're here to show you how to convert your T8 or T9 into the First Strike mod. It's for the players who are interested in using the new First Strike paintballs. This is the upgrade kit that you would put into your gun to make it compatible with that setup. First thing we want to do is remove the old magazine out of there. It does come with a new magazine, so we won't be needing the old one anymore. Second thing we want to do is remove the barrel out of the gun. So what we're going to do is we're going to push on the barrel like this, and we're going to rotate after we've pushed. So we're going to push and then rotate, and that's going to let the barrel come out. Now you can see on the barrel that it's got that track right there that runs through it with these two little hook shapes. The track is going to run along these two upraised pieces inside here. So once it slides in, it slides along the track, and then you hook those hooks onto these two notches, and that's what holds your barrel in place. But what comes with the new First Strike comes with a new barrel, so we're going to set that to the side also. We won't need that anymore. Next, we're going to remove the spring. Grab your spring, going to pull it out the front. New mod comes with a new spring, so we can put this to the side also. Next thing we want to do is start removing the screws. Now a lot of the screws on the gun I've already loosened so that we can get this done a little quicker. The front and rear screws we're going to take out on the frame. Now if you look at these two screws, they're a different length. You got to remember that the short screw goes in the front, long screw goes in the back. Next, we're going to remove this middle screw, which is connected to this piece right inside here. So first thing we're going to do on that is we're going to back that piece out. Now we're going to hold on to the other piece that's underneath it so that it doesn't fall out. So first thing we'll get that screw out and shake it out of there, and then this piece right here, let that fall down. That's what this looks like. So these two pieces, they actually thread together inside the gun. Alright, next we're going to remove the upper from the lower part right here. In order to do that, we first have to remove the trigger pin out of the trigger assembly. So we have a punch, put that there, and we're going to slightly hammer that out. Now you can see that I'm going to kind of push on this, and if I can get this to pop out easily, like that. I'm going to use the Allen key again to push it the rest of the way out. There's our trigger pin all the way out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to remove, like I said, the upper part from the lower part. Easiest way to do that is to lift up at the front first. Spring will fall out probably. We'll show you how to put that back in when we reassemble. From this point right here, the trigger, we're going to actually push the trigger up and out of the gun. So as we pull this away, we're going to get the trigger and we're going to pull it up out of the gun. Alright, so that popped up out of there. Now we can set that to the side. We'll get back to that in a minute. Next thing we want to do with this is we want to remove the regulator system right here from the upper frame. And the way you do that is with this screw right here. So we're going to pull that one out first. Now remember, this has a little locking washer that comes along with it. Don't lose that. Then we can pop this part off. One thing you do want to remember, if I flip this over, is there's an O-ring right here. Okay? Now you want to make sure you don't lose that O-ring. That's what's going to seal up against this part down here, this hole down at the bottom. Make sure that O-ring stays in there. Once we have this as it is, we're going to remove these 4 screws on the corner, 3 of which I've already got loose. The 4th one is holding everything together. So we're going to remove that out of there. Okay, so we got those 4 screws out. Now we can pull the back end off. And this is where we have to get to start changing parts. We've got our old bolt that has the rubber tip to it. This is our new bolt, has a tapered end, and it doesn't have this rubber tip to it. So, old bolt to the side, new bolt's going on here. Now the instructions tell you to not push the bolt all the way together. When you install it, make sure that you only push it about halfway and install it like this. Do not install it with the bolt all the way pushed down. So, bolt goes about halfway in. We're going to reassemble it onto the body. Then we're going to put our 4 screws back in here. Where's our other one? There it is. Then we're going to tighten these down. Whoop. Now on the reassembly, we're going to make sure we tighten everything up so that nothing is loose. I'm going to take a second here. Get that one all the way down. This one all the way down. So make sure these are tight. This is what's going to hold your bolt together, so you don't want this loose in any way. Go back over them, tighten them down. Alright, so we've got that new bolt installed inside there. Take our regulator system, flip it over. Make sure again that that O-ring is there. You don't want to lose that. It's very important. Alright, so we snap that together. Our one screw that has the locking washer on it. Put that in. Tighten it down. Give it a good tighten on there. Alright, we're set. Now the next step is going to require us to reassemble the upper part and the lower part. Now this can get a little tricky, only problem being this spring that you see right here. We have to get this spring through the trigger frame. Now luckily this comes on an arm right here that's going to make it a little bit easier. We can move the trigger away and put it through. You have to make sure that this part of the spring sticks through the bottom of the frame right here. Now I've got a gun that's assembled and you can see the spring sitting right there. So we want to make sure that we get it all the way through and it's sitting in there like that. So what we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to compress the spring down by hand. Put it together, then we can stick it through the frame. We can move it away from this gun and stick it through the frame. And put it through the bottom like that. Now we can see that the spring is inside there. Now we want to make sure that the trigger also, you can kind of, it's hard to see inside there, the trigger sits in its normal position. It's not up higher than it should be. Once we get it to where it needs to be, we can take the back end and drop it into its spot. And the front end is going to snap down like this, the trigger working. Now, step from this, since we have everything back together, we want the trigger to stay where it was. So we're going to take our trigger pin, we're going to make sure that inside, you want to look down in here and make sure that the hole of the trigger lines up with the hole of the frame. Once we get them kind of lined up, take our pin, we're going to put our pin through, like that. The very last, give it a little tap, set it in place. Now our trigger can't move. We've got it in there, the spring's in there, can't move. But now we have to set our safety up. The way we're going to do that is we're going to pop the top back up. And because that trigger's on an arm, we can get into the gun a little bit easier. Now, we've got to put the spring inside here. Now, when we're putting this together, this piece comes up from the bottom, and the spring actually sits around it, like that. Okay, so the easiest way to do it is to first take this and put it up through the bottom of the frame, through the safety mechanism. Make sure that it's seated in place. Okay, and you can see it right here. It's up through the safety. Then we're going to take our spring, we're going to put it right on top of that so it's sitting there, just like so. Now while I'm holding the bottom piece so it doesn't fall out, I can set the upper part of the receiver back down into place. Okay, you can see our springs in there. We're holding onto the bottom so we know our spring for our safety is in place. We can take our screw and reassemble it back inside. Then we can test our safety. Gun works, safety works. Shoots, safety works. Alright, next thing we want to do, frame screws, short one in the front, long one in the rear. Tighten those up. Okay, so now we're almost done. New spring for the gun. It's got a red tip to it. Put it through the front. Push it all the way down to the end. Inside there, like so. New barrel. Again, you got the slots cut along the side right there. That's going to run along those tabs. Lock it in place. Now you can see the new barrel has threading on it so that you can attach a longer barrel tip, silencer, something like that on it. And then your new magazine up into the gun. And that's it. That's how you do the conversion for the first strike for the TAC 8 Tiberius pistol. Pick this conversion kit up at ansgear.com.